Born Again by Barbelo Introduction. The mystery of being born again is rooted not merely in physical birth, but in a higher origin that precedes and transcends the natural world. The ancient scriptures and the Gnostic writings both preserve traces of this deeper reality, that there is a generation from above, a birth from the primordial source. This birth is not of flesh, but of power, light, and thought. It is a return to origin, a manifestation of what was already spoken before formation in the womb. The prophetic words declare a calling that exists prior to natural birth, revealing that identity and purpose are established before emergence into the visible order. This concept aligns with the doctrine of emanation, where what appears in time already exists in a higher, prior state. Thus, to be born again is not to become something entirely new, but to awaken to what was already spoken, already formed, already known. Listen to me, you islands. Hear this, you distant nations. Before I was born, the Lord called me. From my mother's womb, he has spoken my name. Isaiah 49, verse 1. Your people will volunteer freely on the day of your power. In holy splendor, from the womb of the dawn, your youth are to you as the dew. Psalm 1. These passages reveal two key principles. First, that there is a calling before birth, and second, that there is a generation from the womb of the dawn, a higher and more ancient origin. This womb is not the natural womb alone, but a primordial womb, identified in Gnostic teaching as Barbelo. Barbelo as the first emanation. Barbelo is the first manifestation of the One, the first appearance of what was hidden. When the One reflected upon itself, an image emerged, not separate, but expressive, a visible thought of the invisible. This first appearance is described as the beginning of all multiplicity, yet without division. And thou, Barbelo, dost become a great male noetic first appearer. 3 Steles of Seth. This statement reveals that Barbelo is not merely passive, but active, a first appearer, the initial manifestation of the unseen source. She is both image and power, both reflection and expression. As the first aeon, she stands at the threshold between the unmanifest and the manifest. Great is the first aeon, male virginal Barbelo, the first glory of the invisible Father, she who is called perfect. Thou, Barbelo, hast seen first the One who truly pre-exists, and from him and through him thou hast pre-existed eternally, light from light. 3 Steles of Seth. Here, Barbelo is described as light from light, indicating continuity of substance. She is not created from nothing, but proceeds from the same essence as the One. This establishes the foundation for understanding rebirth. What is born again is not alien to the source, but of the same nature. Barbelo is thought and womb. The process of emanation begins with thought. The One, in contemplating itself, generates a second, its own image. This image is thought, enoia, forethought, pronoia, and first thought, protonoia. Barbelo embodies all of these, and his thought performed a deed, and she came forth, namely, she who had appeared before him in the shine of his light. She is the forethought of the all. This is the first thought, his image. She became the womb of everything. Apocryphon of John. The phrase, she became the womb of everything, is central. It identifies Barbelo as the generative matrix of all existence. Just as the natural womb brings forth life into the visible world, Barbelo brings forth all forms into being from the invisible source. He perpetuated the Father of all aeons. Who am I? The thought of the Father, protonoia, that is, Barbelo. I am the image of the invisible spirit, and it is through me that the all took shape. Trimorphic protonoia. To be born again, then, is to return to this womb, not physically, but ontologically. It is to be formed again through the original thought, to be reshaped by the same power that first brought all things into existence. Barbelo as mother of the aeons. Barbelo is not only the first appearance, but also the mother of all subsequent emanations. Through her, the unity of the One becomes multiplicity without losing its oneness. O mother of the aeons, Barbelo, Melchizedek, we bless thee, producer of perfection, aeon giver. Thou hast become numerable, although thou didst continue being one. 3 Steles of Seth. This paradox, becoming many while remaining one, is the key to understanding spiritual rebirth. The individual, though appearing separate, originates from unity. To be born again is to recognize this origin and to be reintegrated into that unity without losing identity. Barbelo, as aeon giver, extends the One into manifold expressions, yet each expression retains the imprint of its source. Thus, rebirth is not the creation of a new essence, but the restoration of alignment with the original pattern. Barbelo as power and formation. The power of Barbelo lies in her ability to generate and to give form. She is not merely a passive container, but an active force shaping existence. Thou hast empowered in begetting, and provided forms in that which exists to others. 3 Steles of Seth. This formative power extends throughout all levels of existence. For their sake, thou hast empowered the eternal ones in being. Thou hast empowered divinity in living. Thou hast empowered knowledge in goodness. Thou hast empowered another one in creation. 3 Steles of Seth. This shows that all structure, all life, and all knowledge originate through her activity. To be born again is to be reformed by this same power, to receive form anew according to the higher pattern. Barbelo and the birth of Christ. The culmination of Barbelo's generative role is the bringing forth of the Christ, the expression of light and perfection. And the invisible, virginal spirit rejoiced over the light which came forth, which is Barbelo. And he anointed it with his kindness until it became perfect. Apocryphon of John. It is he alone who came to be, that is, the Christ. And as for me, I anointed him as the glory of the invisible spirit. Now the three, I established alone in eternal glory over the aeons in the living water. Trimorphic protonoia. Here the pattern becomes clear. Barbelo brings forth, anoints, and establishes. This process is the model of rebirth. The one who is born again passes through the same pattern: emergence, anointing, and establishment in glory. The womb of the dawn returning to the psalm. In holy splendor, from the womb of the dawn, your youth are to you as the dew. Psalm 110:3. The womb of the dawn corresponds to Barbelo, the primordial origin from which new life emerges like dew, fresh and renewed. Dew appears without visible cause, silently and purely, just as spiritual rebirth occurs not through external means, but through an inward transformation. This aligns with the prophetic declaration, "Before I was born, from my mother's womb he has spoken my name." Isaiah 49:1. The name spoken before birth indicates a pre-existent identity. To be born again is to hear that name again, to awaken to what was spoken from the beginning. Conclusion. To be born again by Barbelo is to return to the first thought, the first light, the original womb. It is to be formed again by the same power that brought forth the aeons, to emerge from the womb of the dawn as one renewed. This rebirth is not a second physical birth, but a restoration of origin. It is the realization that one proceeds from the same source as the aeons, light from light, and that through Barbelo, the womb of everything, one is brought forth again into fullness, unity, and power.